Hello, all my dear students of CA Final Full English. I hope you all are doing good. So this lecture is a very special video for those students who have unfortunately not been able to clear their exams in November 2024 and they wish to give their exams in May 2025 and November 2025. For them, there are a lot of amendments which are made by Finance Act 2024. So let me clarify one thing at the beginning only. This video is only for this amendment series is only for those students who have not cleared their exams in November 2024 and now are willing to give their exams in May 25 and November 25. Because for November 2024 you have done your entire syllabus studies as per the Finance Act 2023. But now for November 2025 and May 2025 you have to study Finance Act number 1 and number 2 2024. There were two budgets in this year. Most of the amendments are there in the second budget only. First budget does not have any great amendments. Therefore, it is my very clear direction. Very clearly I am clarifying the things that it is only for those students who have not cleared their exams in November 2024 and wish to give their exams in May 25 and November 2025. Again, I am saying it is not for those students who have already enrolled for our regular batches of May 25, November 25 or our exam oriented batches of May 25 or November 25. If you have already enrolled our 2025 batches, regular or exam oriented, then we have already covered all these amendments that I am going to cover in this series in your respective lectures. You don't have to see them again. Okay. We have already done all of them in the lectures and it is already covered in your books also. So one last thing that I would like to say before we can start with the first amendment, that is, we are going to do all the amendments from our colored book, that is colored easy notes, which covers the entire ICI syllabus with all the amendments, all the case laws, everything at one place, and all the amendments we are going to do it from here only. There are a lot of amendments this year. Let me give you a brief background about which topic has more amendments. There are many amendments in capital gains, especially because of the removal of indexation and then reintroduction of indexation once again. So there are a lot of amendments in capital gains. Apart from that, there are a lot of amendments in assessment as well. In search and seizure, in income escaping assessment, all these things are amended. Apart from that, then there are some amendments which are there in PGBP. Some of them are there in, say, IFOS, some capital gains. Okay. Then some transfer pricing, non-resident taxation, some amendments are there. In international taxation, there are not much amendments. Major amendment is there in the direct tax part only. So this is what I had to say before we can start with our first amendment. Okay. Generally, if I let out property, where it will go? Income from house property, correct? But the Supreme Court has a different view in the case of Chennai Properties and Investment Limited. Okay. The Supreme Court in the case of Chennai Properties and Investment Limited held that if your main object is to let out and it is written in the memorandum of association that your main object is let out. I hope you know that in memorandum of association there is one object clause where you have to write the object of the company. What is the main object of the company? There is a principal place clause, object clause, right? Have you heard about these things or not? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
So the Supreme Court held in the case of Chennai Properties and Investment Limited that if your main object is to acquire property and let out, and your substantial income comes from where? Let out. Okay. Then your income will be classified under which head? Then your income will be classified under PGBP and not income from house property. Are you clear? Please tell me. By default, if you let out a property, it goes under house property only. But if this is a specific case like this, where your main object is to let out, main object, and substantial income in the income tax return comes from letting out, it can go to PGBP, like shopping malls and all. Shopping mall people, main object is to let out only. And their substantial income comes from where? From let out only. So that can go to PGBP. Third thing, now there is an amendment made by Finance Act 2024 number 2. There are two Finance Act this year. There are two budgets this year. So the second Finance Act is giving a very important amendment to us that from this year onwards, that is from previous year 24-25, assessment year 25-26, if anybody lets out, anybody, individual, HUF company, firm, AOP, BO, LLP, any person lets out a residential house property, then letting out of residential house property will always be classified under what? Will always be classified under income from house property and not under PGPP. Residential house property can under any circumstance cannot go under PGPP. Is it clear all of you? Please tell me. It will always go under what? Income from house property only. So all these things which I have said you can check over here from year till year you will get it. Okay. I will read it with you all. Whether the let out of immobile property will be chargeable under income from house property or PGPP. It will be PGPP in some cases. Chennai Properties and Investment Limited. One more case law, similar case. Rayala Corporation. These are two separate cases, but the facts of the case were similar. Are you able to understand what I am trying to say? Two similar cases, but the assessee were different. Okay? Assessee were different, case was similar. If it is written in the memorandum of association that the main object of the company is to acquire and let out immobile property, correct? And income from such activity is substantial. Then income from such activity shall be taxable under what? Please tell me. It will be taxable under PGPP instead of income from house property. Then of absolutely important amendment. Income from residential property, letting out of residential house or part of the house by the owner shall not be chargeable under PGPP. Okay. And shall be chargeable under income from what? Please tell me. Income from house property only. Are you clear? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Next one, 3614A. Employer contribution to approved pension fund. Approved what? Pension fund. Okay. So I'm contributing an amount to your pension fund so that on retirement you should get some money on pension. Okay. Then that is also allowed as a deduction to the employer. But here there is a cap. Cap means there is a maximum cap given by the government. Okay. Only that much deduction will be allowed to you maximum. Shall I say? It is 10% of salary. Okay. Maximum 10% of salary will be allowed as a deduction to the employer. Now you will ask me as a student, sir, in the CA interview we have learned salary chapter. Salary differs in different sections, sir. For one section salary means something. For another section salary means something else only. And for third section, salary means something else. Sir, what is the meaning of salary over here? Salary includes lot of components, na? Sir, what does salary includes here? Salary includes two things over here. Pay attention. One is basic salary. Which salary? Basic. Another is DA in terms. DA in dearness allowance in terms. These are the two things which will come in the definition of salary under this section. Are you clear? Please tell me. Now, very important thing. Listen carefully. Now there is an amendment made by Finance Act number 2, 2024 in this section, which says that this cap is now increased to 14% now. How much it has been increased to? 14% from previous year 24-25, assessment year 25-26. Is everyone clear with this? Please tell me. So, suppose the salary is 10 lakhs, okay? And I am contributing 2 lakh rupees. So how much deduction I will get? Only 1,40,000. 60,000 will be what? 60,000 will be disallowed. Is it clear all of you, Palani? Okay, so this cap has been increased by Finance Act 2024 now. Are you clear? So this becomes more important for the exam now. Now one more point the CBDT has entered over here. Okay, one more point. Now this fourth point is added by Finance Act 2024. This fourth point was not there earlier. Okay. It is now added. It's a very fresh point applicable from assessment year 25-26. Now what is this fourth point and what is the logic behind it? I'll just tell you. In many laws in this country, okay, there is a provision that if you want to do out of court settlement, okay, you can do an out of court settlement like in the form of an arbitration. Are you aware of the word arbitration or not? Arbitration means out of court settlement. Yes. So if you have broken any law, You have done anything in contravention of any law. Now to settle that, the government is allowing you that you can do out of court settlement. So if you are doing any out of court settlement, okay, and on that you have incurred any expense, is it clear? Is it clear? Then that will also be what? Not allowed under the income tax. That is not compounding. That is not compounding of offense. Okay, that is an out of court settlement. For that, if you have incurred some expense, that will also not be allowed from Finance Act 2024. Point number 4, read please. To settle proceedings initiated in relation to what? Contravention under such law as may be notified by central government. So the government will notify the laws. Right now, I don't know which laws are there because it has just come now. The government will notify. These are the 20 laws, 30 laws in which if you do what? Out of court settlement and settle your proceeding, and if you pay anything, then you will not be liable for what? Then you will not be liable for the deduction. Okay, you will not be eligible for the deduction. So this you will come to know, the clarity will come only after the government will notify those laws under which you what? If you settle any proceedings for contravening the law, for breaking the law, then that particular expenditure will not be allowed to you. Okay. Now let's talk about how much remuneration will be allowed. How much? Now this is very important for us. Why? Because this has been amended by Finance Act 2024. The limits of the remuneration have been what? Have been enhanced, have been increased by Finance Act 2024. So how it has been increased? So you can see in green color, anything in green will be what?
Amendment.
An amendment made by Finance Act 2024. So pay attention please all of you. In case the book profit is negative, book profit is what? Negative. It was 1.5 lakhs earlier, now it has become how much?
3 lakhs.
3 lakhs. So if you have a negative book profit, you can get flat deduction of how much?
3 lakhs.
3 lakh, again subject to actual. Okay. This is the maximum deduction available subject to actual. Are you clear?
Yes.
Second, what if your book profit is positive? If your book profit is positive, earlier it was up to 3 lakh, it was 1.5 lakhs or 90% of book profit. Okay. So what was the provision earlier?
3 lakh.
Up to 3 lakh, 90% of book profit or 1.5 lakh, whichever is more. Now 3 lakh has become 6 lakhs and 1.5 lakh has become what? 3 lakhs. So let's talk about the new limits only. Let us not talk about the old limits. Okay. So if your book profit is positive and it is up to 6 lakhs, then 3 lakh or 90% of book profit, whichever is higher, you will get that much deduction. Suppose your book profit is exactly 6 lakhs. Then how much deduction you will get?
4 maximum.
5,40,000 rupees you will get maximum. Are you clear? And if your book profit is 2 lakh, then?
1,80,000 rupees.
No, not 1 lakh 80. It is whichever is more. If your book profit is 2 lakh, then 3 lakh or 90% of book profit, whichever is more, will come to how much, Palani? Why are you in a hurry?
3 lakhs.
If the book profit is 2 lakh, then how much will be the answer? Answer will be 3 lakhs. Correct?
Correct.
And what about if the book profit is more than what? 6 lakhs. Then on balance profit, you have to consider how much? 60% of book profit will be considered to be what? What your remuneration. Are you clear? Please tell me. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So let's go ahead with the next amendment. The next amendment is in section 139 subsection 3. We all know that if we want to carry forward a PGBP loss or a capital gain loss, then we have to file the return on time. If you are not able to file the return on time, then you cannot carry forward your PGBP and capital gain loss. And similarly, if you want refund of your income tax, if you have paid more tax in the form of TDS or TCS or advance tax, and now you want a refund of that because you do not have that much tax to pay. So if you want a refund, you have to file the return. Now suppose because of some genuine reason you are not able to file the return on time, or if you have not been able to file the return only, then in that particular case, what can I do? What options do I have? I have an option to go to Commission of Income Tax and go to make an application to him, and then he can condone the delay. Remember, we have done one circular based on that, which was brought in 2015. Now, in that circular, the CBDT very recently in September or October 2024, they have changed some limits in that. Now, what is the limit over here? If the claim is up to 1 crore, earlier it was up to 50 lakhs. So now they have changed that 50 lakhs to 1 crore. If the claim is up to 1 crore, then you have to make an application to commissioner or principal commissioner. If the claim is more than 1 crore, then you have to make an application up to 3 crore. More than 1 crore, up to 3 crore. Earlier the limit was more than 50 lakhs up to 2 crore. The limits are slightly changed. If it exceeds 1 crore but not more than 3 crore, then make an application to Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. And if it exceeds what? If it exceeds 3 crore, then you have to make an application to Principal Chief Commissioner. So these are the slight amendments, minor changes are there which have been made over here. You will get all these things in our new book obviously. And similarly, one more amendment which they have made. Earlier we had an option to make an application up to 6 years. Now they have changed that 6 years to 5 years. Check. So that 6 years have been changed to how much? That has also been changed to how much? It has been changed to 5 years. So these are the two small amendments which has been made over here under section 139(3) in the form of a notification. Okay. Section 139 AA Aadhaar number. 139 single A was for what? PAN card. 139 AA is for Aadhaar. This section talks about Aadhaar provisions. So pay absolute attention now. There are some minor amendments made over here by the Finance Act 2024. Now listen carefully. The law says that every person who is eligible to obtain what? Shall on or after 1st July 2017. Okay. Quote Aadhaar number in the application form for allotment of PAN. Listen carefully. After 1st July 2023, I have Aadhaar. I have. Repeat na Palani. I already have Aadhaar. Now I am making an application for what? PAN card. So in the PAN card, I need to mention Aadhaar number. Did you understand what I said? Please say na. Second, where I should, again I am asking, where I should intimate, where I should indicate my Aadhaar number? In the PAN card application form. Okay. Second, I should also indicate and intimate my Aadhaar number in the return of income. Is it clear? Where shall I mention my Aadhaar now? In the ROI also. Now, if Aadhaar not available, if Aadhaar, is it possible I don't have Aadhaar? Array, is it possible I don't have Aadhaar? Then the person should code application ID of Aadhaar. You would have applied for application of Aadhaar, correct? But the government has not allotted you the Aadhaar number so far. So, but you would have some acknowledgement number now that you have made an application. So then you should code that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So if you have Aadhaar, then you will quote what? Aadhaar number. But if you don't have Aadhaar, then what you will quote? But this provision of quoting application ID is not applicable from 1st October 2024. Check. They have removed this requirement. Okay? Is it clear? Second, every person already holding PAN on 1st July. When? 1st July you already have a PAN. You should link Aadhaar with PAN till which date? This is the last date to make an application for what? Linking. After that your PAN will be what? Please tell me. Inoperative. Sir, what will be the consequence of that? That I am going to teach you now. What will be the consequence of that? Now there is an amendment here also. Every person who has been allotted what?
Number.
On the basis of what? This ID. Have you got the PAN card?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Before October? Yes or no?
Sir.
Filed prior to 1st day of October 2024, because after 1st October you are not supposed to intimate that particular thing in the application, right?
Correct.
Shall intimate his Aadhaar number to such authority as may be prescribed on or before a date to be notified by central government. Now what do I mean by this? Listen carefully. Suppose. We'll start from the beginning. See. Pay attention here. Suppose you have an Aadhaar number. Okay. Where will you quote your Aadhaar number? In PAN application and in ROI. Correct. Suppose you don't have Aadhaar number. Then what are you supposed to quote in these two things? till 30th September application ID. Correct? After 30th September, this provision is not applicable. Okay. Now suppose on 15th of July. Okay, on 15th of July 2024, you have made an application for PAN. Okay. You have made an application for, and you did not have Aadhaar. You did not have. So what you would have mentioned in the PAN application? Application ID. Now, is it possible that you have been allotted with Aadhaar? Sorry, you have been allotted with PAN now? Yes or no? So every person who has been allotted what? PAN. On the basis of what? Because you did not had Aadhaar. You did not had Aadhaar, correct? You only had the application ID of the Aadhaar. So you mentioned that in the PAN application. So is it not your duty to tell the department whenever you will get the Aadhaar? Arey, that I have received the Aadhaar, now this is my Aadhaar, please link it. Arey, yes or no? Check, that is what they have said. So all those who have got a PAN card on the basis of what? Application ID of Aadhaar. Whenever they will get the actual Aadhaar, they have to intimate to the department on or before a date that the department will notify. Are you clear? Arey, is this clear? We are moving ahead towards the third assessment now. That is the biggest out of the first three. And this third assessment is called as income escaping assessment. Now, I would like to speak few things about this assessment first to you all. Okay, then only I will start. Now, this assessment is given under section 147. Now, what is this assessment all about? This assessment is done by the income tax department where you have escaped certain income in earlier years. And it has not come to the notice of the assessing officer in earlier years. So now suddenly after 3-4 years, it has come to the notice of the department that you have escaped income in 2021, 2020. Then they can do your income escaping assessment. Okay. Now there is a drastic change in this assessment from Finance Act 2024. Drastic. A big change has been made. Shall I say? Let me tell you what is the position of this assessment before Finance Act 2024 and after Finance Act 2024. Shall I say? Before Finance Act 2024, till 31st August, till the situation is different. And from 1st September 2024, there has been drastic change under the income tax law. Till 31st August, what used to happen? Listen carefully. There used to be two different assessments. One single assessment. Under section 147. Listen this, I want you to have absolute clarity, unless and until you are giving me confirmation after the end of the discussion, I am not going ahead. So listen it very carefully. What used to happen till 31st August? There was one single assessment for all kind of escaped income, all. If you escaped income normally, then also section 147 will be attracted on you. Okay. And if your income is caught in what? Search and seizure. Where it is caught? Search and seizure. Then also section 147 will be attracted. So the source from where it is coming, the source of information from where it is coming doesn't matter. Okay. Whether it is a normal escapement of income, the department would have come to know from somewhere. Okay. or if the department caught your income in search and seizure. In both the cases, which assessment was done? Income escaping assessment. Okay? Are you clear? Now, this development was brought by the government in Finance Act 2000, what? 21. Just 2 years back. It was not a very old provision. When they brought this? Just 2 years back in 2021. Are you clear? Please tell me. This provision was applicable from 1st April 2021. Are you clear? So, what is the old position? We need to understand that first. Okay? If department comes to know about my escaped income from statement of financial transaction, that I have done this much transaction, I have not paid tax, which assessment they will do? Income escaping assessment. If department came to know about your information from foreign country, which assessment they will do? Income escaping. If department has done raid at your place, they have done search and seizure at your place, they got some undisclosed income, which assessment they will do? Income escaping assessment. Okay? Sir, separate assessments will be done for separate years? Yes. How many years assessment can be done? Minimum 3 years. Minimum? In some cases, even up to 10 years. How much? Up to 10 years also. It means in 2024, they can open the assessment of the last 10 years. Are you able to understand or not? Are you clear? By default, 3 years assessment they will reopen. But in some cases, even 10 years assessment can be reopened. Now, this was the position till 31st of August 2024. But now on 23rd of July, when the budget came, the government of India announced a revamp in this particular section. Revamp, a big change, a paradigm shift. How, sir? Listen. Now the government said that for normal escapement of income, section 147 will be attracted. Okay. Which section? With some change here also. Here also they have made some changes. Maximum how many years was there? They have reduced that to 5 years. Okay. How much they have reduced to? 10 has become 5 now. It will not be 10 years. Don't worry. Okay. For normal escapement of income, they came to know about your information from foreign country. They came to know your information about from the statement of financial transaction or from some informer. Okay. Section 147 will continue. But if your income is caught in where? In search and seizure, then absolutely a fresh assessment is what? Reintroduced by Finance Act 2024. When I say a fresh assessment is what? Reintroduced. It means it was there earlier sometime. Let's say na. If I say a fresh assessment is reintroduced by Finance Act 2024, it means it was there somewhere earlier. Yes. What kind of fresh assessment? This fresh assessment is called as block assessment. Which assessment? Block assessment. For what? For search and seizure. So from 1st September onwards, if any search is happening in our country, okay, 147 will not apply. Are you clear? What will apply is only block assessment will apply. What happens in block assessment? I will just give a brief idea first. It will come at the later part of today's lecture or in the next lecture. In the block assessment, the government makes your assessment for a block of 6 years. It means they will make one assessment. How many? One single assessment for 6 assessment years. Not separate assessment. Okay. Are not separate assessment for 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24. No, not like that. One single assessment for a block of 6 years. Are you clear? This was there earlier. It was there in 2003. Finance Act 2003, block assessment concept was there. They removed in Finance Act 2003. Then they brought individual assessment. Listen carefully, I'll tell you the history. What was there before 2003? This same concept was there in 2003. Same. It is a copy paste of that particular section. Are you clear? So this same section was there in 2003. They brought in 2023, 24 once again. I'll tell you the roadmap. Again, I'll explain you the roadmap later on when I'll speak about search and seizure assessment. Right now, I'm just giving you a brief idea. Today, right now, my more interest will be on 147 first. Okay. We cannot directly jump to search and seizure without doing what? 147. So let me tell you, how was the position? Till 2003, there was 147. There was 147 was there. And there was what? Block assessment. Okay. Now, in 2003, they removed the concept of block. Okay. Now, from 2003 to 2021, they removed block now. So, what was there, sir? There was 147 and then there was 153A for what? Search and seizure assessment. Okay. But this was not block. This was individual assessment was done for different years. Okay. Are you clear? In block, you make one assessment for 6 years. Okay. So they remove the concept of block and they reintroduce the concept of single assessment. But section was different. 147 separate. Search and seizure separate. Are you clear or not? Please tell me. Then from 2021, from 2000 to 31st August 2024, what has happened? Only 147. Everything is covered here only. Are you clear? Are you clear? Search and seizure is also covered in 147. Normal assessment is also covered under 147. Everybody is covered under 147. Okay. Now, who brought this concept of making it single? Nirmala Sitharaman. Correct? Now, again, she is only making what? Separate again after 2 years from 1st September 2024. We are going back 20 years back. Are you clear or not? Please tell me. Did you understand how the development has been made here? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
So what are they doing? They also don't know. And then they talk about what? Then the current government, our beloved finance minister, talks about what? Of simplifying income tax law. First, you only complicate. Okay. First, I will complicate my book to such an extent that nobody understands anything from my book. Okay. And then I will say I will simplify my book. Then what's the sense of this? Does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. This is what the government has been doing in the last few years. They have made the income tax law a hell. It was not this complicated few years back. Believe me, when I was studying my CA final around 14 years back, at that time, the topic of TDS was done in 3 hours. How many hours? 3 by our teacher. Now it takes 20 hours to complete TDS. The topic of transfer pricing was done in 6 hours. Now it takes 18 hours. The topic of trust was done in 3 hours. Now it takes 15 hours to do trust. The same is the case with assessment. I was so happy for the last 2 years that I have to teach only one assessment. Which? Balani, we have done only one assessment last year, correct? When we were doing the batch for the last year. You were there in the last year batch also. Only one assessment, 147, correct or not? But now again, have you done 2 assessments with me, Palani? No. Now we need to do 2 assessments. And the new block assessment which is there now here, this one, they have put 10 pages under the Bare Act. How many? 10 pages for this new assessment under the Bare Act. 10 pages of Bare Act we need to learn now. Are you able to understand? Please tell me. Very dangerous, but it's very interesting. Sir, according to you, what is correct? That I'll come later on. Okay, that I'll speak on my view later on. But is this development in the law clear to everyone? Please tell me. So, what we are going to start today? Let me tell you very clearly, I am not interested in the pre-amendment scenario. I am interested in the post-amendment scenario. Okay. What is the law from 1st September? Okay, what is 147 from 1st September? What is the search and seizure block assessment from 1st September? Are you clear? Please tell me. So today we are going to first of all start what? Section 147. Pay attention please, all of you. Section 147. They have made section 147. With section 147 we are learning, which is applicable with effect from what? Is it a new section? Is it? I have told you earlier, I want your absolute clarity in the concept first. Then only I will get into the section. Is it a new section? No. It is there even before 2003. Okay. So it's not a new section. Now what happens in this section? The assessing officer has the power to reassess your income, to reopen your assessment. Okay. If he finds that you have escaped your income in earlier years. Now let me read the Bare Act first. The basic provision. What does section 147 tells us? This is part 4 of your assessment procedure. Shall I read? Now this is the charging section of 147. What it is? Charging section of section 147, income escaping assessment. Shall I read? Let's read. If any income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment for any AY, the AO may, subject to section 148 to 153. Subject to what? 148 to 153. Assess or reassess. Assess or reassess such income and also any other income chargeable to tax which has escaped assessment and which come to his notice subsequently in the course of proceeding, or recompute the loss or depreciation allowance or any other allowance as the case may be for such AY. I want you all to read it once. Have you? Have you read? Now, there are very finer points in this particular section. We will try to decode all of them one by one. It will take a lot of time to do this particular entire section. Have patience, please. Section 147. What does it say? It says that if any income is escaped by you, okay, you have escaped some income. You have 3 house property. You have only shown 2. Have you escaped? Yes. You have 1 business, okay, in which you have taken wrong deduction. Have you escaped income? Taking wrong deduction is also an escapement of income or not? Please tell me. The answer is yes. Okay. Are you clear? Then subject to 148 to 153. Remember, section 147 is subject to what? 148 to 153. It means if the AO wants to do assessment under 147, is he supposed to comply with 148 to 153? Please tell me. Yes, he has to follow these 6 sections. Okay. How many? 6 sections he has to follow. He doesn't have any other option. Okay. So subject to section 148 to 153, he has to follow these 6 sections. Who will do your assessment under this section? Who has the power to do assessment under this section? Tell me please fast. The assessing officer. Why he will do your assessment? Because you are escaping some income. What will he do? He will follow section 148 to 153 first. Acha, he is doing your assessment. Okay. Suppose he is doing your assessment and in the assessment he's found some more incomes which you have escaped. Can he assess that also? Tell me please, what does the law says? While doing the assessment, he found some more incomes which you have escaped, which he was not aware earlier. Now he came to know now. Can he assess those other incomes also which he comes to know subsequently? Please tell me fast. The answer is yes. Why you are saying so? And also any other income chargeable to tax which has escaped assessment. Are you clear? Now the very first thing that I would like to explain you all is in this section is escaped income means what? Income can escape because of whom? Income can escape because of 2 reasons. First, income can escape because of obviously assessee. Yes? Array, income can escape because of assessee or not? Palani, energetic, 8-hour lecture. Okay. Yes or no? Palani? Energetic or not? So income can escape because of whom? Assessee. The first culprit is what? Assessee. If income is escaped because of assessee, then obviously the department will do 147, they will take tax, they will take interest, they will take penalty. Yes or no? We are not going to leave you under any circumstance. Are you clear or not? We will take tax, interest, penalty, everything will be taken from you. Correct? But there is one more reason because of which income can escape. Now listen to this carefully, which is subsequent development in law. Now what do I mean by this? Let me explain you the concept of subsequent development in law. Pay attention please, all of you. Suppose there is one of my friend, Mr. A. Okay? He is my friend. In his case, the Supreme Court has said that a particular expense will be disallowed. Okay? What Supreme Court said in his case? A particular expense will be disallowed. For example, now I will come to my case. In my case, the AO has allowed that expense to me earlier. In my friend's case, the Supreme Court has disallowed a particular expense. But in my case, the assessing officer has allowed that particular expense. Now my question to all of you is, has my assessing officer made a mistake? Louder. He has made a mistake. What? What mistake he has made? He has not disallowed the expenditure. He should have disallowed. Has my assessing officer wrongly interpreted the income tax law? Please tell me. The answer is yes. My assessing officer has wrongly interpreted the income tax law. He should have interpreted the way a Supreme Court judge has interpreted in my friend's case. Are you clear? Now, the moment a Supreme Court judgment comes, it can be called as a subsequent development in the law. What it can be called as? A subsequent development. Every judgment is a development in the law. Agreed or not? So now this Supreme Court judgment will be used by my assessing officer. Okay. And he will disallow my expenditure also by opening 147. Did you understand what I said? What will he do? He will reopen my assessment under 147 and say, see, in your friend's case, the Supreme Court has disallowed this expenditure. Now I am also under a pressure. Okay. Now I also have to disallow your expenditure by opening 147. This is a subsequent development in law. One more example of subsequent development in law is retrospective amendment by the Income Tax Department. Suppose an Income Tax Department make a retrospective amendment that from 2020 this expenditure will be disallowed. Are you clear? Now this gives the power to the assessing officer to reopen what? Reopen 147 assessment for earlier years and do what? And disallow the expenditures. But remember always that in subsequent development in law, was it my mistake? Is it because of my mistake the income is escaped? No. So in subsequent development in law, you will be imposed with tax. You will be imposed with, but you will be given the waiver of interest and penalty. Don't worry. Is it clear? So did you understand these two concepts clearly? This one, please check. Did you understand the subsequent development in law clearly? It means a subsequent amendment has come or subsequent judgment has come, which can change your older position, correct? So the AO has the power to initiate 147. Clear or not? Now listen carefully to me. Now I will explain you the entire procedure first, that how it will go about, and then only we will read the section. Pay attention on the board, please. What is the procedure for 147? Pay absolute attention. Let's try to understand the procedure for section 147. There is an assessing officer who has some information. What information he has? That income is what? Escaped. Okay? Is it clear? Then what should he do? The very first thing he will do, he will send you a notice. He will send you a under section 148A. It's an opportunity of being heard notice. Okay. What kind of notice it is? So he has come up with an information which he feels that you have escaped this assessment. So he will ask you once. Okay. For example, I came to know that you have bought one property in Delhi for which there is no corresponding income. So I will send you a notice under 148A. And then I will ask you that you have purchased a property in Delhi. Please explain from where you have got the money. Okay? Okay. Now if you are explaining properly, then I will leave you. But if you are not explaining properly, then what will be my next step? If you explain properly, the matter is closed here. No 147. But if you do not give me satisfactory reply, okay, then what is the next step that I am going to follow? The next step is I am going to now issue you a notice under section 148. What will I do? Under 148. The earlier one was 148A. I will now issue a notice under 148. To file what? To file return of income. I will tell you that you should file the return of income of 2020, 21, 21, 22. Okay? File return of income. Sir, return of income under which section, sir? Under section 148. Under section 140. This return is filed under which section? Please tell me. 148 itself. It is not filed under other sections. Okay? It is not 139.1 return. It is not 139.4 return. It is not 142 one return. It is a return which is filed under what? 148 itself. So you will file the return and then the AO will do what? Please tell me the assessment against you. Okay. So this is the procedure that he has to follow. Is it clear? Please tell me, all of you. So first he will get the information from somewhere. Sir, from where he will get the information? That we will see. That we will see now. Okay. After he got the information, he will do inquiry. He will give you opportunity of being heard. After that, he will think about sending you what? Notice under 148. Is it clear to all of you? And that is the reason it is very clearly written in section 147 that 147 is what? Subject to 148 to 153. You have to comply with the provisions of 148 to 153 if you want to invoke section 147. Okay. So don't worry, I will make you by heart each and everything logically. Don't worry, just pay attention. Now, shall we read the provisions, corresponding provisions like 148, 148A, 149, 150, 151, 52, 53. Are you clear? Shall we? Pay attention. Now, 148 was there earlier because 147 was also there earlier, correct? Was 140, that's the reason I gave you a big intro. Was 147 there earlier? Earlier means before September 2024. Was it there? Yes, it was. But still the government has brought a new section 148. This is not the old one, absolutely new one with some minor changes, not big change. But they have, instead of making 5 minor changes, instead of making what? 5 minor changes, they have resubstituted the entire section only. Okay. What they have done? Entire section has been resubstituted. If you go and read the Bare Act, you will see there are 2 section 148 in the Bare Act. One is before September, one is after September. Similarly, they have resubstituted entire 148A also. Check. With effect from when? 1st September 2024. Are you clear? They have resubstituted the entire 148A also. Then they have resubstituted the entire section 149 also. That's the reason I told you today's lecture is going to be absolute amendment. Okay. Even 149 is what? Entirely resubstituted. Are you clear? Even 151 is entirely resubstituted. Okay. And then whatever is left is not resubstituted. What is left after that? Nothing is left. Only 2 lines. Those are not resubstituted. Correct. So it's very easy. Honestly speaking, this resubstituted section is simpler than the older one. The older one was a complicated one. Okay. Now this one is a simpler one. So shall we start with the resubstituted section 148? Before that, without reading, you have to tell me. You all have to tell me, all those who are listening my lecture. Please tell, what is 148? 148 is, what is the purpose of 148? Yes, 148 is for return filing. Okay. But procedure wise, what should go first? 148A should go first. Can 148 come before 148A in procedure? No, you have to give the inquiry notice first. Are you clear or not? Please tell me. So let's read now. First of all, what do you feel? What should we read first? What 148A we will read? Okay. Chalo, let's read 148A first. 148A, show cause notice before issuing. Notice under 148. Correct? Where AO has information. AO has what? Which suggests that income chargeable to tax has what? Escaped assessment in the case of an assessee for relevant AY. He shall, before issuing any notice under 148. What is 148? Return filing notice. Before sending you return filing notice, what shall he do? Provide an opportunity of being heard to the assessee by serving him a show cause notice. What kind of notice? Show cause notice. As to why section 148 should not be issued in his case. So I will send you a show cause notice and I will ask you why I should not issue a 148 notice to you. Tell me, are you clear or not? Why I should not issue a 148 notice to you? You can give me two types of reply. One reply positive, I am happy, I will leave you. One negative reply, I will not leave you. And I will do what? 147 against you. Are you clear or not? Please tell me. And such notice to show cause shall be accompanied by the information in which suggests that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment in his case for the relevant AY. So, listen carefully. AO has what? Information. What will he do first? Notice under 148A he will send you. Acha, read the paragraph very carefully till the last line of subsection 1. In the notice, is he supposed to also attach the information which he has found? Please tell me. I came to know that I am an assessing officer. I came to know that you have hidden some Delhi property income. So am I supposed to write that over there that you have hidden Delhi property income? Please tell me. The answer is yes. Is it clear? Now, where has the notice gone now? To the assessee. Now, it is the duty of the assessee to do what? On receipt of the above notice, the assessee may furnish his reply. Furnish his reply what? Within such period as may be specified in the notice. So in how many days he will reply? Time period will be specified in notice. Now there is an amendment here. Earlier it was not like this. Earlier it was minimum 7 days, maximum 30 days time limit was there. What was the time limit? But now they have removed that. They have removed that and they have put what? Please tell me. The department will tell you the time in which you have to reply. Are you clear? Shall I go ahead? Subsection 3. After you have replied, what will the AO do? Don't read. Think logically. The more you will think logically, you will remember without reading. Tell me now. I am an assessing officer. I am an assessing officer. You have replied me. I have given you show cause. You have replied me. What shall I do next? I will evaluate the reply whether you are giving genuine reply or not. Okay? If you are giving a genuine reply, what will I do? The matter will be closed here. But if you are not giving a genuine reply, what shall I do? I will send you 148 notice now. So now I will pass an order under 148A. What will I do? That your case is a fit case for 147. What? Your case will come under 147. For that I have to pass one order now. Are you clear? Read subsection 3. The AO on the basis of material available on the record. Does AO has some material on his record? And the reply of the assessee. Now AO has assessee's reply also. If any. If assessee replies, then reply will be there. If assessee doesn't reply, then reply will not be there. Correct or not? He will pass an order with the prior approval of specified authority determining whether or not it is a fit case to issue what? Notice under 148. So he will determine. What will he determine? Whether your case is a fit case for section 148 or not. Are you clear? Please tell me. So what does these three subsection teaches us? We need to go subsection wise. You have to be very careful with each and every subsection here. What does the first subsection teaches us? It teaches us, listen carefully. What does the first subsection teaches us? It teaches us that if the AO has information, he will send you a show cause notice. He will give you an opportunity of being heard. Along with the notice, he will also tell you the information which he has. Correct or not? What does the second subsection teach us? Assessee has to give a reply within the period specified in the notice. What does the third subsection teach us? That AO will pass an order and will decide whether to go ahead or not. Are you clear? What does the subsection 4 teach us? We will talk about that after some time. Okay? Now, we want to go ahead. Then what should AO decide? No. In subsection 3, what should be the decision of AO? Pass an order in favor of assessee or against assessee? Again, if he passes in favor of assessee, the chapter is closed here. He need to pass an order against assessee now if you want to proceed ahead. So let's understand, let's assume that he has passed an order under 148 subsection 3. 148A subsection 3 has passed an order against assessee to issue notice under 148 now. Okay? So is this 3 subsection clear to everyone? Now we will go to what? 148. What will we do? Don't read anything. What will we do in 148? Ask the assessee to file the ROI. Correct? So let's see now. From 1st September 2024, this section is also resubstituted. Shall I read? Before making assessment under 147, the AO shall, subject to 148A, agreed? And what is 148A? Opportunity of being heard has to be given. Issue a notice to assessee along with the copy of order passed under 148A3. What is the copy of order? What is order under 148A3? That it is a fit case for your 147. I am giving you that order also. Okay. Requiring him to furnish within such period as may be specified in the notice. So, in how much time you will file the return? It will specified in the notice, but not exceeding 3 months from the end of the month in which such notice is issued. So, the law will mention the time in the notice, but it should not be more than 3 months from the end of the month. Did you understand what I said? So, if I issue a notice today, can I give you 60 days time? Yes, I can. Can I give you 150 days time? The answer is no. Maximum 3 months from the end of this month. Are you clear? So the law says that within 3 months, whatever you want to give, you can give. 20 days, 30 days, 50 days, 60 days, 70 days. Okay. But not more than 3 months time. A return of his income or income of any other person in respect of whom is assessable under this act during the previous year corresponding to the relevant event. Don't read ahead. Please don't read ahead. Okay. So what did we learn from this first subsection? The first subsection tells us very clearly that when you send, before doing 147, tell me the procedure in the order. Before doing 147, what shall we do? What shall the AO do? 148A show cause notice has to be served. 148A order has to be there, subsection 3. And along with the notice under 148, along with the notice under which section? 148. You should also give the order of 148A, correct? That order of 148A subsection 3 should also be given to the assessee, yes or no? And you should also mention in the notice that in how much time you have to file the ROI, and that cannot be more than 3 months from the end of the month in which the notice is issued. Is it clear to all of you? Please tell me. Shall I go ahead? Now pay attention. Now there is a one proviso below. Shall I read the proviso? This proviso is putting some restriction on the assessing officer. Provided that no notice under this section shall be issued. No notice should be issued under this section. It means they are talking about which notice? ROI notice, 148 notice. Henceforth, we will say 148 as ROI notice and 148A as inquiry notice. Which notice? Inquiry notice. Listen carefully now. No notice under this section shall be issued unless there is an information with the AO. Obviously, he should have information, na? He will randomly issue notice to any person or what without knowing anything. He should have. What kind of information he should have? Read ahead. Let's be very technical now. Let's not generalize the phrase. Okay. There is no power to issue notice. There is no power with the AO to issue notice unless there is what? Some Information which suggest me that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment. Read this paragraph. Very, 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 very important and technical phrase. Okay. Is it possible to issue notice without fulfilling this sentence?
No, sir.
It is not possible. It is impossible. The AO cannot imagine to issue notice without fulfilling this sentence. And what does this sentence means us? What does it mean? The AO should have what? Some information. What kind of information? Which suggests him, use the technical word Palani, which suggests him that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment. Are you clear or not? Now you will ask me what is the meaning of this sentence. Yes? This entire phrase, what do I mean by this entire phrase, sir? Don't worry, this entire phrase is explained in the form of a subsection 3. Are you able to see this? In which there are 6 points which are coming. Are you able to understand? Please tell me. Shall I read now the meaning of the phrase? What? Now remember, this phrase was also there in the subsection 1 of 148A. Check. First subsection 1 of last 2-3 lines. Can you see that? Is it clear? Therefore, this is the most important thing in the entire section. Are sending notice, giving inquiry notice or giving opportunity, all those things will come after taking information from somewhere. So the question is, from where the hell is he getting the information? That the law will say that from which all places if he gets an information, that can be called as what? Information which suggests that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment. Are you clear or not? Let's see one by one. For the purpose of this section and 148A, appreciate, because in both the sections there is a phrase mentioned like this. The information with the AO which suggests that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment means point number 1. Point number 1. What is point number 1? Any information in case of an assessee for the relevant AY in accordance with the risk management strategy formulated by the board from time to time. Sir, what do you mean by this? It's a very technical phrase, sir. I am explaining, don't worry. Please tell me, has the CBDT made a lot of arrangement these days to get some information? Tell me. Has CBDT made a lot of systems, softwares? Correct na? Can you name few of them? AIS, annual information system, where all your information comes. How much dividend you have earned, how much interest you have earned, how much mutual fund you have sold, how much shares you have sold, correct or not? SFT, which property you have purchased, where you have invested, correct? So can the AO get information from there that you have escaped assessment? So this will justify the phrase what? And information which suggests that the AO has what? That the assessee has what? An information which suggests that income chargeable to tax has what? Will this give a right to the assessing officer to issue an inquiry notice? And after that a notice under 148? And then initiate proceeding under 147? The answer is yes. Is it clear to all of you? Shall we go ahead with the second in place from where he will get the information? Second, any audit objection. Can an auditor's objection can be a source of information? Why not? An audit objection that the assessment in case of the assessee for the relevant AY has not been made in accordance with the provisions of this act. Can a tax auditor or any other auditor mention escapement of your income in their report? Please tell me. That can also be the source of information. Correct? Third, can the AO get information under double taxation avoidance agreement from foreign country? Tell me please. That is mentioned under point number 3. Any information received under an agreement referred in 90 and 90A. This is DTAA agreements. Which agreement it is? Double taxation avoidance agreement. Okay. Are you clear? Shall I go ahead? Now the fourth one is a dangerous one. You have to be very careful with the fourth one. Huh? For that you need to attend last lecture, Niveda. Okay. Palani, you will appreciate this point. If you have attended last lecture, you will appreciate this. Any information made available to AO under the scheme notified in 135A. You remember that in many sections it was mentioned 135A in the last class. I'll show you. See here. See, I'll just tell you once again. There are a lot of powers with the income tax authority to collect information. Like, do they have the power to call information? Please tell me. Under 133, the answer is yes. Now the law has said that this has become faceless under 135A. Can you see? So can the AO get information from here that you have escaped assessment? Please tell me. Similarly, can the AO get information from here that you have escaped assessment? Please tell me. Can the AO get information from here that you have escaped assessment? Please tell me. Can the AO get information from here that you have escaped assessment? Please tell me. So this is faceless collection of information. Is it clear, all of you? So there are some other sections in which what AO does, AO send you notice, collect information, do analysis, and then justify himself that yes, you have escaped what? Income. Now he has got the power under 148. Are you clear to issue you notice? Now, one thing I would like to tell you. For this case, if this is the case, if this is the reason for 147, if this is then there is no need to do any inquiry also under 148A. Check. Point number 4. Are you clear? If what is the reason? Acha, tell me. AO got information from SFT or AIS that you have escaped information. Can he directly send you 148 return notice? He has to do inquiry. AO got information from audit. Can he directly send you 148 notice? He has to do inquiry. AO got information from DTAA, foreign country. Can he directly do 148? AO got information from faceless collection of information. Can he directly send 148? The answer is yes. Is everyone clear with this? 100% clear? Okay. So now subsection 4 is also closed. So now 148A is completely done. Now come back to 147. 148, sorry. Okay? 148. 48A is done. Correct. Coming back to 148 now. What is the next place from where he is getting information? Can a tribunal or court order can also be a source of information for AO? My friend's case. Remember subsequent development in law? In my friend's case, the AO has, the Supreme Court has disallowed a particular expenditure. Can that be a source of information for my AO to disallow my expenditure as well? Please tell me. So this can also be what? A source of information which can be called as AO has information which suggests that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment. And last source of information. Any information in case of an assessee emanating from survey. Survey. What is survey? Survey is a surprise visit. Surprise visit. We have done this yesterday. You can watch that lecture later on if you have not done. Okay, it was a simple section. Nothing great. Survey is a surprise visit. So surprisingly, they are coming to your place one day and they are getting some information. Can that also be a source for your escaped income? So now listen carefully. The information in the case of assessee emanating from conducted under which section? Other than TDS and TCS survey. The survey can also be done for TDS and TCS, which we have done in the last class. So if they are doing survey for TDS and TCS, then they cannot do 147. Okay. If they are doing survey for finding escaped income, finding what? Escaped income, then they can do 147. Okay. On or after 1st September 2024. Sir, why they have put a date over here? Because if a survey is conducted till 30th 1st of August, till what? Then the old 147 will apply on the assessee. Yes or no? Please tell me. And if the survey is conducted from when? Then the new 147 will apply on you. Okay. Is it clear? So will you remember these 6 cases which can be called as information with the AO which suggests that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment? Will you remember this? Please tell me, all of you. Now, shall I go ahead with the subsection above? Please tell me. So where we were standing here. Have we done this? Now, provided further that where the AO has received information under the scheme notified under 135A. Okay? Don't read ahead. Think logically now. In this case, are you doing 147 without inquiry? Yes. So in this case, the government is putting one small filter. What they are doing? Small filter. Now 148A is a bigger filter, na? Or it's a bigger filter, na? You have to first of all confirm whether it is a genuine case or not. Then only you can do 147, correct or not? Now this 135A is completely escaping this filter, correct? No need to do any inquiry. But a small filter is put here. No notice under this section shall be issued without prior approval of specified authority. So in 135A case, in 135, if you get the information from 135 faceless collection of information, don't do a long process of what? 148A, but at least take the approval of a authority. Are you clear? Did you understand? Now, subsection 2, the return shall be furnished in what? And it will be a return furnished under which section? It will be assumed that you have filed return under which section? And after that, I'll just tell you the procedure which is not there in the law, Law does not specify about all these things. After this, the AO will send you a scrutiny notice. Which notice? Under 143(2). Under which section? Obviously, he need to collect some information and documents and books of accounts from you. So he has to send a scrutiny notice. Otherwise, how will he call for? How will he call for the information and documents? Okay. Now, provided that any return furnished after the expiry period. What is the period allowed by the AO? It will be specified in the notice. Niveda say like this. But maximum 3 months from the end of the month in which the notice was issued. Correct? Now, any return furnished after the expiry of the period specified in the notice shall not be deemed to be returned under 139. Okay. So if you file a return after what? After the specified time, that is maximum 3 months. You are filing the return after that. Then we will not consider this to be 139 return. Okay. We will not consider this as 139 return. Then what will the department do? Acha, tell me honestly, I am asking you a very simple question. Common sense question. Department has sent you a notice to file the return. You are not filing. What will you do? They will leave you. They will leave you or what? Then what will they do? They will do best judgment assessment against you. Yes or no? Obviously, they will not put hand or hand and sit, na. Assessee is not filing the return. What can I do? Leave him. Then nobody will file the return. Yes or no? They will do 144 against you. Best judgment assessment. Are you clear or not? So did you understand this procedure till here? Please tell me, all of you. 100%? Now we will come to textbook. Page number 16.1, all of you. And after we are done with this chapter, we will be done with our book 1. Okay. Book 1 will be done. Read this paragraph. I want to ask you some question. Now, I have a question to all of you. Think and answer. Okay, shall I? My question to you all is, suppose the AO has got an information. AO got an information that you have a property in Delhi. Okay? Is it clear? He got an information that you have property in Delhi. So he has sent you an inquiry notice under 148A. Now you did not reply to that notice. Okay? Okay. So now he is sending you 148 notice. Will he send? If you don't reply, then what will he do? He will pass an order under 148A subsection 3 and he will send you notice under 148. Correct or not? Now he has sent you a notice under 148 to file ROI. You have filed ROI. You have filed. In the ROI, you did not show this Delhi property. You did not show the Delhi property. Okay? The officer asked him, why you are not showing this Delhi property? Okay? The assessee said that Delhi property is not mine only. It is somebody else's property. You have misunderstood. It is not my property. It is my brother's property. I have sold him 10 years back. You have misunderstood. There is some misunderstanding between you and me. The AO is saying, really, it is not your property. The assessee said, no, it is not my property. Can it happen? Can this happen? Why not? Now, the AO is saying, Acha, this is not your property. No, this is not my property. But the AO is saying that just now I came to know that there is one property in Mumbai also which is belonging to you. You have not showed that as also, that as well. Is this yours? The assessee said, yes, this is mine. This is mine. Okay. Now listen carefully the entire situation once again. The AO got information of which property? Delhi property. He has sent you inquiry notice, you did not reply. Then he sent you a return filing notice, you filed the return. In the return, you did not show the Delhi property because you believe that this is not yours. But later on, the AO come to know that you have a Mumbai property as well. My question to you is, can he charge tax on Mumbai property? Can he charge tax on Mumbai property without charging the tax on Delhi property? I would like to reframe my sentence like this. He can. Really? And the answer is no. What is your call, Niveda? Yes? No? He cannot charge, Niveda? Why? Justification? Yes, see, Niveda. I will read. Excellent, beta. This was the wordings of the Delhi High Court in the case of Jet Airways Limited in 2012. You are a potential Delhi High Court judge? Okay, Niveda. You are a aspiring judge of Delhi High Court. I pray to the God that one day you become a judge of Delhi High Court. Okay. Section 147. Provide that if any income chargeable to tax in case of an assessee has escaped assessment for any AY, the AO may, subject to the provision of section 148 to 153, assess or reassess such income. Which income? Delhi property for which he has got information, and then he can assess any other income. He has to first assess the income which he has found. Then only he can assess subsequent income. Are Palani, did you understand or not? The word used by the law as said by Niveda is not such income or any other income. The Delhi High Court has said that the word and also has to be read in conjunction with the preceding words. Are you able to understand or not? Now, unfortunately, this case law has been removed by ICI from the study material. Okay. But earlier it was there in the syllabus, but now they have removed it. Okay. Why they have removed it? Because many times section 147 has been changed. Yes. Before 2021 it was different. After 2021 it is different. Now after September 2024 it is again different. Yes or no? But the words were there earlier also and also it is there today also. So can we continue with the interpretation of the Delhi High Court? Please tell me. If the word and also prevailed earlier also and now also it is prevailing. Clear? So we can definitely use these words to interpret the case law. Correct? Beautiful, beautiful. Now, the first section after 147 is, now it's a kind of recap for us. Please help me. Now we will go in the order of the law. Now can we go in the order of the law? Please tell me. We will understand. Before making what? The assessment, reassessment, recomputation under 147. The AO shall, subject to the provisions of 148A. It means what? He has to do inquiry. Issue a notice to the assessee along with what? A copy of order under subsection 3 of section 148A. Correct? Is he supposed to send the order copy also? Yes. Requiring him to furnish within such period as may be specified in the notice, not exceeding 3 months from the end of the month in which such notice is issued. Are you clear? A return of his income or income of any other person in respect of whom he is assessable under this act during the previous year corresponding to the relevant AY. Okay? Now, before issuing this notice, what AO has to make sure? Yes, no notice under this section shall be issued unless there is an information with the AO which suggests that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment. Correct or not? Then, in case of 135A, collection of faceless information, is he supposed to do inquiry under 148A? But is it supposed to take an approval before sending the notice? Is everything there in your mind right? By-hearted, everything, don't worry. Everything will be by-hearted. Everything. A very logical chapter. It has become simple actually. After breaking off what? The entire assessments into two parts. Okay. The return of income required under subsection 1 shall be furnished in such form, such manner, blah, 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 blah. And it will be considered to be what? A return furnished under 139, correct? And what if you file the return after the expiry of the time limit? It shall be not be deemed to be returned under 139. Then a best judgment can be done against you, correct? And then what does the phrase what? AO has information which suggests that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment means. So it means either of the 6 things. Are you clear? Now, they have made some fundamental changes here also. Shall I tell you the changes here? You are supposed to remember the new one only. But I would just like to tell you once that what was the position till 31st of August. Are you clear? The first thing which was there here is this time limit was different. It was not, it was just mentioned within 3 months from the end of the month. That's it. Now how they have changed this? First they will mention in the notice and the maximum time they can mention in the notice is how much? 3 months. Earlier it was not like that. Earlier it was within 3 months from the end of the month in which the notice is issued. Are you clear? This was the first change. The second change, very significant. There was one 7th point over here. Which point? 7th point. Okay. Now what was the 7th point? That if a search and seizure is conducted, what? On or after 1st April 2021. When? On or after 2021 if a search is conducted. Do you remember that was also merged under 147? Palani, if you are thinking now all these things, then I will not kill you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You have learned all these things from me in the last year. You have the book also of last year in front of you. You can open and see. Okay? So was 147 and Sir and Caesar one and the same thing till 31st August? So that was also mentioned here. It should have been mentioned, na? But that is now segregated into two separate assessment. So that is removed from here. Are you clear? Now in 148A inquiry section, also they have made some changes. Just for your knowledge, I am saying, not relevant to remember. You remember the new one. The first change which I said you is, they will expect your reply within how many days? It will be specified in the notice. But earlier it was 7 to 30 days. How much? Minimum 7 days, maximum? Tell me please. 30 days time limit they will expect from you. That you will reply. But now they will specify in the notice. They are not mentioning any particular time. Okay? Second, the AO has to pass an order to decide whether it is a fit case or not. Tell me now. Within how much time? Within how much time? It is not mentioned. Don't think much. Okay. This was also mentioned before 1st September. How, sir? It was mentioned as 1 month from the end of the month in which the reply is furnished by the SSC. Okay. So now that is also what? Please tell me. Removed by Finance Act 2024. Are you clear? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Now obviously you are supposed to remember only this new one, not the old one. Okay. So this is what section 148 and 148A is all about. Shall we go ahead? Now after section 148 and 148A, we will go ahead with what? 149. For how many years now they can send you the notice? Say if I escape an income in 24-25, okay? Then by till when I should get scared? Till when I should get scared that the department will send me a notice under 148A, then I will be caught. Yes? So that's what we are going to do now. Pay attention. Time limit for issue of notice under section what? 148A and 148 both. Sir, where is the time limit mentioned? It is mentioned under section 149. Shall we start? Now suppose you have escaped income in previous year 24-25. Assessment year 25-26 you have what? You have escaped income. Then till when the notice can come to your place? Okay. Till how many years I have to be scared? Shall we see? Alani? Let's see the 148A time limit and then we will see the 148 time limit. Okay. Now here there are two cases, normal case and specific case. First we'll talk about normal case. Okay. Notice can be issued. Notice can be issued means what? Sent by the department or received by the SSC? Please tell me. It means it can be sent by the department. Okay. Within 3 years from the end of the relevant assessment year unless the case falls under the provision given below. So till when they can send you an inquiry notice? Please tell me. So inquiry notice under section can be issued till, tell me, till when it can be issued? 31st March 2029, within 3 years from the end of the relevant assessment year. Is this clear to everyone? Please tell me. Now, by when the 148 notice can be issued? Just 3 months extra. 3 months extra. Read. 3 months extra. Is this clear? So what is the time limit for this? Notice, let me write. Notice for what? For filing ROI under section can be issued till 3 months extra. 30th June 2029. Is everyone clear? Please tell me. Now, if you think logically, it is eventually 4 years from the end of previous year. Yes. Yes or no? And 5 years from the beginning of the previous year. Yes or no? At the beginning of the previous year is 1st April 24 now. So the time is too much. It is 5 years almost from the beginning of the previous year. Correct? Now pay attention. This is for normal case. Okay? Now let's talk about special case. This is normal case. Shall I say the special case now? Specific case. Notice can be issued beyond 3 years but not beyond 5 years. So now 3 has become what? 5. But we need to see what comes under specific case. Yes or no? Specific case covers the case where the AO has in his possession books of accounts. What does AO has? In his possession or other documents or evidence. He has some proof. He has some proof related to any asset or expenditure or transaction or entries. He has a proof that you have purchased some asset, you have purchased some, or you have incurred some expenditure, some wedding, etc., anything, okay? Or there are some transactions which you have entered into, or some entries in the books of accounts, which show that the income chargeable to tax has escaped assessments amounts to or likely to amount to 50 lakh or more. Okay, how much? So if the AO has evidence, AO has what? Evidence. That your escaped income is greater than or equal to 50 lakhs. Correct? Then he can issue the notice for 5 years. It means this notice can be issued till, and this notice can be issued till 30th June 2031. Is everyone clear with this? Please tell me, all of you. 100%. Now take a photograph of this. This time limit can be extremely important for exam. Is this clear to all of you? Please tell me. Is this clear to all of you? Now, they have made this particular provision as this. Okay? Have you taken the photograph? Now, I will take you to the textbook now. Come here. Here also they have made significant amendments. First of all, earlier there were two categories of 3 months, of 3 years and 10 years. How much? 3 years and 10 years. Okay? 3 years for normal cases and 10 years for what? Special cases where the escaped income is likely to be what? Same amount. The amount was same. It was 50 lakhs or more. But they have made one fundamental difference over here. Shall I say? If you read this special case, which is here, 149 subsection 1 clause B. I'm reading like this. I'm highlighting what I'm reading. Shall I? No notice under 148 shall be issued. What is 148? ROI filing. For the relevant assessment year. If 3 years and 3 months, but not more than 5 years and 5 months, correct? Have elapsed from the end of the relevant assessment year, unless the AO has what? In his possession, books of accounts, documents, evidence related to what? Any asset, any expenditure, any transaction, any entries which show that the income chargeable to tax which has escaped assessment is likely to be 50 lakhs or more. Are you clear?
Yes.
This is what we have read from the color book also, correct? Now, they have made one fundamental change here. Let me tell you what. One change is they have made 10 years, 5 years. That is a good change for the SSC. They have reduced the time limit. But one fundamental change is till 31st August, the section was different. This is applicable from 1st September. Till 31st August, if you see section 149, you will find definition of asset in the provision of 149. What you will find?
Definition of asset.
Asset includes few things. They have mentioned asset includes immobile property. What? That is land and building. Okay. Loans and advances. Shares and securities. Shares and certain bank deposits. Okay. Loans and advances, shares and securities, deposits, land and building. That's it. That's it. But now when I see the new law, there is no definition of asset. There is no definition of asset. Now I would like to ask you one question. Suppose in 24-25 previous year, I have escaped 1 crore rupees. What? And with the help of that 1 crore, I bought some jewelry. I bought some jewelry. Now the AO caught that. AO caught that. Yes or no? Now, as per the old law, can he do the assessment for extended years?
No, sir.
No, he cannot do, because in the definition of asset, jewelry was not mentioned. He has to stick to 3 years time limit, correct or not? Do you want to see the old law? See? See here, Palani. Explanation. For the purpose of clause B of this subsection, asset shall include what? Land or building, Shares and security, loans and advances, deposit in bank. That's it. But if you see the new law, the new one, you want to see the new one? This is the Finance Act 2024. Which section do you want to see? Check this, a substituted section of 149. Is this the substituted section? Tell me. They have written or not? We have substituted. A subsection is substituted or entire section? Entire means whatever is written here is complete or not? Read. That's it. That's it. The moral of the story is what? When they say any asset, will that include also jewelry? Please tell me. So this is a very minute interpretation of the law. Are you clear? One more question that I would like to ask you all, so that you can, if a paper comes a very difficult paper, then these points might be tested in the examination. One question that I would like to ask you all, and the question is, suppose AO has information that you have escaped an income of 55 lakhs. And your escapement of income is in the form of an asset, or it is in the form of what? A expenditure. Okay, he has information that you have done a wedding in 2024-25 of 1 crore rupees. Yes? Can you open 147 for 5 years? Can you open 147 for 5 years? If he has a information that you have incurred, listen Niveda carefully. If he has an information that you have incurred 1 crore rupees in a wedding from undisclosed income, tell me. Definitely he can. Your income should be represented in the form of an asset. Your income should be represented in the form of an expenditure. Your income should be represented in the form of any transaction or any entry in the books of accounts. Are you clear or not? So for example, I am coming back to my original example. My example is, suppose the AO came to know he has information which suggests him that income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment, and the information is that you have escaped what? 55 lakh rupees income in 24-25. Can he issue notice to you for 5 years? And tell me now. Now he has sent you a notice for 5 years. Okay. Now he has opened 5-year-old assessment. Okay. Now during the assessment, when the assessment was done and the order was passed, okay, it came to know that the escaped income was only 48 lakhs. Escaped income was only how much? 48 lakhs. So can the assessee say that you were wrong? You should not have opened my assessment. Can the assessee say that? Tell me. Because to open an assessment beyond 3 years, the escaped income has to be at least 50 lakhs, correct or not? But ultimately when the order was passed by the officer, the escaped income was only how much? It was less than 50 lakhs. Can the assessee say that your assessment is invalid? And the answer is no. Why? That's the reason they have very beautifully written the words. Likely to amount 50 lakhs or more. Are you clear or not? Tell me please. It should be likely to amount 50 lakhs or more. I hope it is clear to all of you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is what section 149. Is the time limit clear to everyone? By when you should issue a notice? Now, after section 149, let's move ahead with section 151. 150 is not relevant for us as of now. Okay. Let's move on to 151. What is 151, sir? You need to take sanctions, right? At some places it is mentioned now that you need to take sanction of a higher authority. Especially here, check. In which case? In 135A case, you need to take sanction of the higher authority, correct or not? Now, who is that higher authority? Check. For the purpose of section 148 and 148A, the specified authority is additional commissioner, additional director, joint commissioner, joint director, as the case may be. Okay? Is it clear? These are the four authorities who are specified under this section to sanction few things. Is this clear to all of you?